My name is Representative Ephraim Elliott, and you've just been placed on alert. Welcome to the Elliott Alert. I have today, my guest is
Marquise Carter, Student Government Association Executive Director.
Executive Director, or one of the ones who's helping to put the forum together. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What kind of things are you looking for to get out of this event?
Well, we're looking for to see what mayor candidate can best incorporate the university to let the students get a feel to see who's going to be on their side, pretty much. But we want to ask them different questions of their involvement. How would they involve the university in developing their community relationship that we so seek this year? So that's one of our main objectives.
That's one of the things that I know we've discussed before about making sure that there's an open relationship between the mayor's office and our students to give them that experience.
Yes, sir.
And that's the reason why some of these forums is being put on,
yes,
to
sir,
make sure that the candidates do not forget you guys.
Yes, sir. That's exactly correct. We don't want to be forgotten over here on the north side of Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Okay. And once again, I have the Executive Director of SGA and a future politician. I'm standing here with Miss Alderman Irene Holcomb. She's our First Ward Alderman and our senior council member.
Exactly.
And she's not running for re-election this time, but she's here to listen to the mayoral debate. Miss Holcomb, what are you looking for to hear tonight?
I'm looking to hear from each candidate and see what they have to offer. The political process is a very good process. We happen to live in a country where we can express ourselves, and I will be listening to all 9 candidates very objectively.
Yes, ma'am. Now, being a school teacher, a senior council member, you've seen a lot of mayors go through here. And what specifically do you look for in a good and decent mayor?
I've actually worked with 4 mayors. What I think a mayor should do, first of all, is try to solidify the council, bring the council together to the best of his or her ability. We don't know if it's going to be a male or female, but once the council is solidified and you bring them together and work together, you can do some things and have a plan for togetherness. And that plan would be, if I were to become mayor, and I won't because I will never be running for another office, the first thing I would do was have a retreat and have a plan of work for that particular year. And we would plan together. So we would not have fragmented ideas. Of course, each individual would have their own idea, but we would have some ideas of cohesiveness and working together.
Well, thanks again. We're with Alderwoman Irene Holcomb, and I just want to thank you for all the years of services and being a leader in Pine Bluff.
Well, it has actually been a joy, and I'm not stopping because I'm particularly tired. I'm just stopping because it's always good to stop while you're on top.
I have today my guest, Mr. John James, who is the candidate for our mayoral debate tonight with UAPB. Mr. James, how are you, sir?
I am doing great.
Good, good. I just wanted to ask you, being a historical black institution, what things do you see as a mayor that you can help with UAPB?
Well, the greatest thing I think we can call us institution of education, and the students that make up that institution too, is a high level of service. Okay. If you get them involved in the community, you find ways to give them a voice and make them an active part of crafting the growth, the things that you're going to use to grow that city. Then they can get that management experience. They can get that organizing experience. And one thing that I hope to do is kind of like you have the UAPB incubator down town, open up some sort of location where those who are community conscious and socially active can have a base of operation. Give that group a budget where they can operate during those summer, fall, and spring months where crime is at its highest, where people are out and about, and they can help us spread the message of hope, change, and prosperity in Pine Bluff, and help us start to rebrand ourselves and clean up our image a little bit. So I think the greatest thing that I can do is call the students to a higher level of service.
I'm here today with my guest, Mr. Tim Whisenhunt, who is one of the candidates for our mayoral debate tonight. How are you, Mr. Whisenhunt?
Fine. It's great to be back here with you on your show.
Good, good. Mr. Whisenhunt, I just want to kind of ask you, UAPB being a historical institution, what kind of things are you looking forward to working with UAPB with?
Well, since I went here back in 2008, and from my beginning here in 1999, I saw a lot of potentials here at UAPB. Everywhere I go, I tell people UAPB can rival Harvard University with their professors. Taking courses here at UAPB in political science, I had two wonderful professors who was from Nigeria, and I couldn't get that type of international politics than anywhere else but here at UAPB. And I want to continue that, the wide scope of learning here at this historical college.
So we could look forward to a better relationship between UAPB and the office if you're elected.
Oh yes, sir. I want to have a monthly meeting with the chancellor, with the current Chancellor current Chancellor Calvin Johnson, and the next Chancellor, whoever that may be.
My guest today is Mr. Peter Daniels, who is the editor and owner of the banner and our mayoral candidate for tonight's debate. Mr. Daniels, can you tell us the kind of things that you're looking for to incorporate UAPB under your leadership if you're becoming the mayor?
Yes. For some reason, economic development around UAPB has lagged behind other universities in the state and throughout the nation. I've had the pleasure of visiting many colleges and universities, and I have found that one thing they have in common is sophisticated, well-developed community development around the campus. I am proposing that we establish or determine grant sources where we can perhaps give entrepreneurs $10,000 no-interest loans or grants to develop businesses around the university campus. I think that to make the students' experience on campus complete, you need to have a situation where when they come on campus, everything is there. Everything is there what they will need. Won't have to do much traveling throughout the city to find different areas and things of need for their living. I just believe that much more can be done around this campus from a community economic development point of view.
I'm with Debbie Hollandsworth, one of the mayoral candidates in tonight's debate. How are you, Ms. Hollandsworth?
I'm doing great, thank you. And how are you tonight?
I'm doing well.
Good.
I just wanted to ask you, with UAPB being a historical college, what kind of things do you think, as the mayor, if you're elected, that you would like to work with UAPB with?
First of all, I'd like to say that it's a beautiful institution, an institution which really helps the students within our community, and I would like to say that I would, as mayor, work with the state legislators to bring more programs and more projects to our area that would just do nothing but enhance what we already have.
Okay. And I know once before you were talking about some form of an internship between UAPB and the mayor's office. Is something like that still on the table?
Yes, it is. As a matter of fact, I am in the planning stages of implementing a program to where we can use some of the students at UAPB and some of the students at CARC in an intern program or to do a shadowing program. And hopefully we can partner up with some of the businesses through our Chamber of Commerce or just the businesses throughout our city. But I think that would give our students a hands-on approach, and it would also give them the experience in their field that I think would be wonderful for them.
So what you're actually saying is that there's going to be an active relationship between UAPB and the mayor's office if you're elected.
Yes, there will be, Ephraim. Thank you. There will be a partnership between the mayor's office and UAPB, CRC. My plan is to bring the educational institutions together at a round table and talk about what we can do to increase our skilled labor, our workforce, with being it vocational or a four-year
Institution.
yes, thank you, institution.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, my plan is to do that, to bring all of them together.
And you mentioned vocational, so are you looking at working and bringing vocational back here in Pine Bluff to have more skilled labor?
Absolutely. I think one of the key components in economic development and bringing large companies in is for the schools that do provide skilled labor and training and vocations, that they provide the flexibility for the corporations. So if we need more skilled workers, then CRC can provide that, and so can UAPB. So that I think that is a must, that they be flexible.
I'm with Alderman Mays, Stephen Mays. He's running for mayor in this up-and-coming November election. Alderman Mays, I want to ask you, as a mayoral candidate in this November election, what kind of things are you looking forward to doing along with the UAPB to get a partnership?
Well, once again, my name is Alderman, 4th Ward Alderman Stephen Mays, a candidate for mayor of the great city of Pine Bluff. First of all, let me say I love Pine Bluff, and I love UAPB. I'm a 1985 graduate, right here, UAPB on the yard. The way I want to work with UAPB is like I did with Chancellor Dr. Davis. I've worked with some of the departments, the students, organizing them, helping the community at our community center. We got a computer lab. We had some of the students from the business and school of management working with us, the arts department, helping our youth in the community. They did a good job also, and they put it on their resume. What I'm doing right now, also in the 4th Ward, is we're putting golden lions on businesses coming from Blake and Martha Mitchell east down to University Drive, coming down north on University Drive. That's the plan. We have 2 of them in there already. One on Sheila Design on Martha Mitchell, and second, and right at Whitting Concrete, right off the overpass, going east on Martha Mitchell. Mm-hmm. What that does is give the people that's coming through Pine Bluff something to look at when they come in, and it'll help tourism. It'll help increase visibility to UAPB and that lion logo, which is a great looking logo. And the plan is to bring them all the way down University Drive to put some life when we rebuild and resurface University Drive, put the new lighting in. You'll see the lions all over the place. And what you have people coming in here from all over the country, homecoming and all during the year, bringing in tourism dollars. And what that would do is establish a restaurant for people to come in and eat. You have businesses coming, you have people coming in, walking, driving, spending money, looking at this project that we have working with UAPB as your alderman.
My guest today is Mr. Clarence Davis, who's a candidate for mayor in this upcoming November election. Welcome, Mr. Davis, for coming on our show.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, as a candidate in today's mayoral election, what kind of things do you want to see the mayor's office do in conjunction with UAPB, since it's a historical black college?
Well, you know, it's a historical black college. We do know that. We have monies that we have at our.
She can come on in. A Davis support.
Grandbaby. We have monies that we have that have been collected with the taxes. I would like to see the mayor's office and UAPB partner up with something that we call Sit a Year, or maybe Sit 2 years.
Okay. Now, what was that again?
Sit a year. Sit a year.
Sit a year.
Sit a year.
All right.
And what that is where. There she goes.
Okay.
That is where the college receive some funds. The students receive some funds from the city in some type of a fund that we can have set up to help them with their education, whether it's with the books or whether it's with their tuitions or whatever it is. In return, the student, the scholar, if I may, commits to working a year with one of the departments in the city.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Is that summer or?
Well, no, that's whenever they, it's whenever they're not in their class settings, part-time
so it can be
sometimes.
actually a year-round thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
And what this does, this actually gives that scholar, that student, some experience, if you may. Okay. So many times they leave college and don't have experience in some things. We want to give them some experience, and they can earn a little income while they get it. Okay. It's almost like a little internship program.
So basically what it is kind of like grow your own.
That's right.
Okay.
Grow your own. You got to invest in your own.
Got to invest in your own.
If you want somebody on the outside to see what you're doing, then do it right here in town.
I'm standing here today with Mr. Ken Broughton, who's a candidate in this up-and-coming November election for the mayor's office in Pine Bluff. How are you, Mr. Broughton?
I'm doing great.
Good, good. Mr. Broughton, as an alumni here and a person running for mayor, what kind of relationship would you have if you're elected mayor with the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff?
Ms. Elliott, I have a strong relationship with the university because that is the key driver of economics in this city. When we're talking about skilled workforce, when we're talking about building a center around on this north side, when we talk about walking in livable communities to make sure our places are safe, we'll have a strong commitment to the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff.
A strong commitment. Now, what kind of programs would you have? I know you mentioned homes. You also mentioned some things in restaurants and healthy living over in this area. Is that important to you?
Yes, it's very important. When I talk about 28% poverty rate and talking about nutritional values that we have here on the north side, there's no grocery store here on the north side, and that's a problem. That means that our people cannot have access to nutritional food in walking distance. When we talk about safe parks and recreations, making sure they have places where they can go, having centers like the Boys and Girls Club that's well funded to help those children here on the north side in the University Park area, and making sure when we talk about relationships with university, retaining those individuals that's graduating from the university to stay here in Pine Bluff. And the way that we're going to do that, we're going to make sure that we have a quality of life when we talk about crime, making sure educational systems when they want to raise a family, when we're talking about social engagements that have different things that they can do on weekends. So just trying to bring a collaborative moment where we can bring people together to make sure that we retain those people that graduate from here, making sure that we make this University Park area a welcome and livable community, make sure we have good nutrition here on the north side with grocery stores, and making sure that we just make quality of life better here in Pine Bluff.
Today I have Miss Delma Walker, who's a candidate for mayor in this up-and-coming election. How are you, Miss Walker?
I'm well.
Good. Miss Walker is our 4th Ward Alderman, and she's running... First Ward Alderman, and she's running for mayor in this November election. Alderwoman Walker, if you're elected mayor, what kind of things do you look at bringing to UAPB to make it better?
Well, first of all, let me clarify. I'm Alderwoman Delma Walker from the 1st Ward, elected 3 times.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now...
and I should know that. I'm sorry. Shame on me.
No, that's okay. Just teasing. Actually, I would continue to partnership with UAPB, with the students, because we have like an intern program. So I would expand that, and that they would either get grades for it, and then at some point they could advance when they are getting closer to graduation, that they could be employed with Pine Bluff, and maybe that would be a way to retain them. They start the job that they have, they start liking it, then they decide to stay in Pine Bluff instead of graduating graduating and leaving. But other than that, I would make myself available, and I would deal closely with the council, and because the council does control the money, and but I would work closely with the university, but in the meantime, I would not try to decide what was to be done, because I would come in a helpful mode, not in a leadership that I'm coming over here to fix it and to do things, because they have a very good interim chancellor, and I'm sure that they will have a good chancellor when he comes in. So that would be my stance.
So there's going to be a working relationship between the university and the mayoral office if you're elected.
Yes, absolutely, because you have to work with instead of dictate.
I'm standing here today with our Pine Bluff mayor, who is running for re-election, and he is here at the debate here at UAPB.
I don't think it's a debate, it's a forum.
It's a forum. It's a forum. And
yes.
Mayor, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
Good.
Doing just fine. And
Mayor,
you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Can you tell us, under your administration, the relationship that UAPB and your office has had and continuously have to make this city grow?
Well, I've been mayor for 8 years now, but my relationship with this university goes back to my birth. I was born here on Watson Boulevard.
Okay.
And I'm probably an individual that's been supporting this university from my birth on up through today. You know, my father's a graduate of this university. I have 4 siblings that are graduates of this university. And we bleed black and gold.
That's right.
So we support this university to the utmost.
Okay.
You know, and as mayor, not only have I put forth initiatives to support this university financially, educationally, athletically, and also from a beautification perspective. One of the main things that we're doing is making sure that University Drive look as well and as good as each and every major university in this state looks. That's why we're working and spending dollars to not only widen it, but to beautify it by putting the lights, the wires of the lighting and utilities underground, and putting pedestrian lights and metal poles for lights as opposed to the wooden telephone poles that we've had up there for years and years and years.
Okay, and I'm sure that's going to be a sight to see.
It truly will be. You know, the work will begin immediately after the football season.
Okay.
You know, that's one of the things. But, you know, work has been going on over the last year with the burying of the utilities, but the construction work will start immediately after the football season.
Outstanding. Again, Mayor Reedus, and he is at the forum to let everybody know exactly everything that he has done as the mayor and continuously to keep doing.
And how this major institution, this illustrious institution, fit into the future of Pine Bluff as far as its children are concerned and its children's and its children's children. Yes. So this is a major economic engine for the city of Pine Bluff. We understand that, we respect that, and we'll continue to partner with the leadership of this university.